Primary sources provide first-hand testimony or direct evidence concerning a topic under investigation. They are created by witnesses or recorders who experience the events or conditions being documented. I've chosen to review two primary source websites available to educators online. One of them is particularly geared towards educators, and that's historybuff.com. When you first get to History Buff, at least for me, it didn't really pass the eye test. I got here and what I saw was on the left-hand side, I saw advertisements. And for me, that almost made me just instantly close the browser window and move on to something else. But I decided not to. So I decided to look a little deeper. And another thing that I don't like right off the bat when I get here is all of this empty space on the right. We've got tons of empty space on the right hand side right here. But as I scrolled down a little farther, I was able to find kind of a mission statement or a little bit of an explanation into what History Buff is. So History Buff is a non-profit organization devoted to providing free primary source material for students, teachers, and history buffs. I liked that. I liked the fact that it's free, and I liked the fact that it was geared towards students and teachers. So then I kind of battled to find the information for a while. I ended up finding that my favorite place on the site was the newspaper archive. So you got to click on the newspaper archive, and then you need to go down to the online newspaper archive, and you can choose any of these dates that you're interested in. Now, I'm just going to click on a random date, and while things are loading, I'm going to tell you how I envision using this in a classroom. Being that I teach technology education, I very regularly try to work with other teachers in the middle school that I work at. And the reason that I do this is because I teach things like video production, audio broadcasting, and the various computer programs that I teach. And I don't think it's as meaningful to teach students how to use the technology that I teach them to use, but just make up the content that I have them put in there. So I think it's really great when I can get together with another teacher, say for instance in this case a history teacher, and do something together. So here's what I envision doing here. I envision a history teacher assigning their students a particular date and time, and they can come and get onto historybuff.com, and they can find a specific event, maybe in a newspaper like this, and they can read about it. And they can go maybe not just to History Buff, but to various different primary source sites and read about different things, different people's accounts who were actually there, first-hand primary source accounts. And then I would like to have them create almost like a mock trial that you would do, just like a mock conversation, and maybe just a casual conversation that would have taken place in the time. For instance, this right here takes place on September 17th, 1831. So maybe this would be on September 17th, 1831, after two people had read this article and they would be having a conversation. How I would tie this into my classroom is I have cameras and I have a room where we're able to do some video production stuff and set up scenes and different things, and I would like to have my students use my video production tools, use the computers in my classroom and the content from history to come together and create a mock conversation as if they were back in September 17th, 1831, all the way down to what they'd be wearing and how they'd be talking. And I would expect that the video production is done professionally and the content is accurate. So that's the first site, is historybuff.com. If I go back to the History Buff homepage, there's a number of different or other options on here as well. You've got History Buff on the Road, Newspaper Collecting, State Facts, Archive, Reference Library, and Historic Panoramas. So I would I would encourage you to go and check out the History Buff site and take a look at the different things that they have to offer. It really is a pretty neat site, and for the price you can't go wrong. If you go there and you don't like it, then you never have to go again. The second site that I reviewed with primary sources is Fireside Chats of Franklin D. Roosevelt. And there was something that concerned me here as well, but being that I enjoy history, I decided to take a look. And you can see that I've clicked on numerous links just today, but if you go down to the bottom, this is one of the things that got me. It said this site is not being updated. And I don't love the fact that it's not being updated, but if President Roosevelt's presidency fits into your curriculum, I think this would be a great site to have on hand. For me, I would like to use in my classroom the audio broadcasting module, and the history teacher to assign each student to create basically a copy of FDR's Fireside Chat. He could, for instance, he could assign somebody the On the Bank Crisis, the Sunday, March 12th, 1933 Fireside Chat. And if you're not familiar with the Fireside Chats, it was a radio broadcast that President Roosevelt put out and just kind of addressed the nation. I have the ability in my classroom to archive all of the stuff and save it on disk or save it on our server, and I think it would be another really neat assignment for the kids, and we wouldn't have to make up the content for them to learn to use audio broadcasting tools. I envision this being more of a 7th grade assignment, and I envision the History Buff video production assignment being an 8th grade assignment. It would be great because the students would be able to, for both of the assignments, students would be able to use the content from a core class in technology. And I think it's really important that we infuse technology into the core subjects so that there's a definite awareness by the students that technology is a real tool for them to use in their education, as opposed to them thinking technology is a game. So I'm going to close by going back to what a primary source is so that you know. A primary source provides first-hand testimony or direct evidence concerning a topic under investigation. They're created by witnesses or recorders who experience the events or conditions being documented.